The battle in Congress is raging on now. It looks like the empire strikes back. Robert Garcia's 3 UAP amendments were shot down by House Republican leadership, he says. So we'll go through what actually happened. And if you are angry, there's a few different things you can do. Thanks for being here. Chris Lehto, welcome to LehtoFiles. Okay, this was released June 12, 2024. Congressman Robert Garcia. My 3 UAP amendments to the National Defense Authorization Act have been blocked from being considered by House Republican leadership. We must continue to fight for transparency and take seriously national security concerns and the public interest. We will continue pushing. Unfortunate, man. I was sorry to see this. Covered in depth his 3 UAP amendments. We'll just go through an overview real quick. And it took less than 2 weeks for them to shoot it down. This was May 31st, 2024. From Congressman Robert Garcia, I'm offering 3 UAP amendments for the National Defense Authorization Act. We must continue to responsibly push for safe reporting of UAPs and bring that transparency to the public. This is critical for our national security. My first amendment creates a UAP reporting mechanism for civilian pilots. My second amendment includes UAP disclosure provisions from last year that were blocked, including a UAP records review board, also included eminent domain. My final amendment ensures AARO has access to convert intel for investigations. And look at this. Good luck. Let's hope the military-industrial complex Lockheed Martin paid up congressmen such as Representative Mike Turner don't get to kill it this time. And they already did. They certainly did already. The pilot and UAP witness Ryan Graves said this on the original. Thank you, Rep. Robert Garcia, for proposing these important amendments to the House NDAA. We will keep fighting in the Senate. So shot down. The First Amendment was, I think, sponsored or at least helped by Ryan Graves about how to get reporting in the FAA for commercial pilots. So Ryan Graves says here, we will keep fighting in the Senate. So I covered that as well in a previous video. The Senate does have its own legislation going through. It's missing a lot of this wording, though. It's not too late to communicate your support of UAP legislation into the NDAA in the Senate. Senator Schumer and Senator Rounds, we support your efforts to include the UAP Disclosure Act and Safe Airspace for Americans Act in the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act. I hope so. According to Mark von Rennenkamp, the Senate Intelligence Act does have a lot of key information in it. He says here, stunning, the Senate Intelligence Committee believes the Pentagon is either lying or incompetent regarding allegations of unreported illegal UAP programs. Make no mistake, this is an astounding rebuke of AARO and its former director, Sean M. Kirkpatrick. Again, I've covered this in a previous video. The text of the fiscal year 2025 Intelligence Authorization Act, as unanimously approved by the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence on May 22, 2024, has been released. It contains several provisions that may be of interest to UAP-focused communities. The first section tasks the Comptroller General to conduct a review of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, so basically an audit. Section 1003 extends through fiscal year 2025 a provision that basically controls the money, prohibits funding of intelligence community controlled access programs involving UAP of any type unless the Director of National Intelligence had provided the details of the activity to the Congressional Intelligence Committees. So that is still going through, but it could still be shot down. Like last year, the Senate passed the UAP Disclosure Act. Chuck Schumer, Mike Rounds sponsored it, and it was still completely hamstrung by House leadership. So the way it works is there are committees, essentially. Is the House Armed Services Committee, one of the powerful committees, along with the House Intelligence Committee. There is an oversight committee as well. The chairman here is Mike Rogers. We've seen him before. He was the highest paid from defense contractor congressman until recently, right? Ken Calvert here is primarily funded for pro-Israel lobbies. But Mike Rogers is all about defense contracting. And for years, he's received the highest number in the House. Look at that, $500,000 just in 2023 to 2024. Here also is Mike Turner. So Mike Turner, he just happens to be on the House Armed Services Committee. Happens to be there. Also, Matt Gaetz is on this committee. This is the Oversight and Accountability members. And look again, there's Robert Garcia. So that's where he put up his, I believe, his amendments here. Jared Moskowitz is in this one. But then look who we have again. Oh, surprise, Mike Turner on another one of these powerful committees. James Comer is not in the defense industry's pocket. Interesting. But Mike Turner is the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. So he's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, and he's on both the House Armed Services Committee and the Oversight Committee. And he's literally the representative of Wright-Patterson and Masick region, which is just amazing. This is just a scathing article from Matt Laslo, September 30, 2023. So this is before actually Mike Turner hamstrung the UAP Disclosure Act. A few interesting quotes from here. So House Intel Chair Mike Turner, afraid to take questions about UAPs from the press corps. Representative Mike Turner tells Ask a Poll, I don't do ambush interviews, before awkwardly laughing like a pubescent teenager. Laslo, man, he goes all out on this one. Laslo says, it seems the defense industry is in on House Intelligence Committee Chair Mike Turner's secrets because, while he refuses to take questions from the Congressional Press Corps these days, he's now a magnet for military-industrial complex cash. Washington has a way of changing, many say corrupting people. That seems to be the case with Turner, who's now in his 11th term in Congress. Laslo went to ask him, how are you, sir? Hey, curious, any update on UAP investigations and stuff? Mike Turner, I don't do ambush interviews. Call my office. Matt Laslo, you used to talk to me when I was Ohio NPR. Mike Turner, now you're not Ohio. Sure, over his 20-plus years in Washington, Turner's top contributor has been Dayton, Ohio's Sugar Creek Packing Company, the largest baking producer in the nation, according to LinkedIn. But don't let one local address atop his donor list fool you. It seems lobbyists have put their money where Turner's mouth used to be. Turner's campaign coffers are overflowing with defense and aerospace cash, a recycling of U.S. taxpayers' money after getting washed in the eternal spring of Washington contractor graft. Over his career, Turner's next top 3 donors are in order: Lockheed Martin, Raytheon Technologies, and General Dynamics. While Turner's been laughing off UAP questions on the friendly confines of Fox News, his district includes Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which houses the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. And Representative Jared Moskowitz said in the House Oversight Committee on July 26, 2023, right before Grush and 2 Navy pilots testified, if there's nothing to conceal, let Congress go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the Dugway Proving Ground, or even Groom Lake in Nevada. We should have disclosures today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come. When it comes to his colleagues' cries for transparency, Turner seems to have also rendered himself mute. So if you're frustrated or angry about this, which you should be, there are a few things you can do right now. So this is Daniel Sheehan's effort. Danny Sheehan, New Paradigm Institute launches social media campaign to call on CNN to include UFO UAP question in the presidential debate. The New Paradigm Institute was founded by acclaimed civil rights and constitutional attorney Daniel Sheehan, is dedicated to advocating for the public release of information held by the government surrounding the issue of unidentified anomalous phenomena. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. So Daniel Sheehan said, the next president of the United States will make critical decisions about UAP disclosure and government transparency. It's time for all presidential candidates, Joe Biden, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Donald Trump, to commit to UFOs, UAP disclosure, and transparency. Regardless of political affiliation, the time has come to inject UAP into the political discourse of our elections. The New Paradigms Institute campaign called on the public to demand that CNN and debate moderators Jake Tapper and Dana Bush ask the candidates about UAP disclosure and government transparency at the June 27, 2024 presidential debate at CNN's Atlanta studios. So in less than 2 weeks, candidates for president should be asked whether they will commit to UAP disclosure and government transparency. Definitely. The CNN debate provides the perfect forum for the public to learn where our candidates stand on this important issue, concluded Sheehan. So this is how you can actually contribute on social media. Call on CNN and its debate moderators to include a question about UAP. Use the hashtag #debatedisclosure and tag CNN, Jake Tapper, Dana Bush, Joe Biden, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Donald Trump, and the New Paradigm Institute. So these are the tags to use right there. Got it? Just start tagging. Say you think they should ask a question on UAP disclosure because we care about it. The second thing you can do is on X, communicate to Senator Schumer and Senator Rounds that we still support their efforts to include the UAP Disclosure Act and Safe Aerospace for Americans Act in the 2025 NDAA. That should help. And then finally, this is the new UAP Disclosure Fund. They just have a petition that you can sign. I just signed it. It says, "Hi, Chris. Thank you for signing our petition and making our voice heard. Together, we are demanding greater transparency from our government so that the public can learn the important truth that will ultimately shape humanity's future." Lou Elizondo, Board of Directors. You can go to uapdisclosurefund.org. These links are all in the description. They are a nonpartisan nonprofit and will actively support all members of Congress who take the UAP issue seriously and are working to restore proper congressional oversight. So it's unfortunate. This has been a bipartisan issue really until it was shot down by what we're seeing here as House Republican leadership. I asked, can you release the names of those members who blocked your UAP amendments for even consideration, right? Because that's really what's frustrating is it's not even able to be considered, meaning it can't be voted on. So if something's voted on, then we can see who supported it and who was against it. And then they would probably have to give actual reasons. But in this case, it's vague, right? It just says it was blocked from even being considered, not even considered, blocked by House Republican leadership. So unfortunately, they're making it partisan, which it shouldn't be, right? Marco Rubio supports it. Round supports it. Gates, Luna, Tim Burchett. So there is a caucus of Republican members as well that are supporting UAP disclosure, UAP transparency. But for me personally, I would vote for either side. Anyone who's supporting this seriously, who's supporting transparency in the government and directed at UAP. If you're going to say UAP transparency and fight for it, then they would have my vote. What do you guys think? How are you going to vote? Are you going to do any of this stuff to support it? Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. It really helps and it's free. Consider subscribing to get future notifications of when I release videos. And you might like this video recommended by YouTube just for you. If you want to support the channel, join these great people over here, get exclusive bonus content, then click this button here, patreon.com/Chris Lehto, or become a YouTube member. If you want to continue the discussion, go to UAP Society Discord. Links are all in the description. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.